Hey guys, I'm back in another video. This time I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to go through Team Sonic Racing Wisps tier list. Basically, all the power-ups in Team Sonic Racing. For my tier list, I'm going to base it on online racing and competitive, technically, since online racing is sort of a competitive mode. So that's what we're going to go through. I'm going to go through each one, briefly describe what each one does, and then give you my thoughts, or just place them in the tier list. I have from bad to top tier. So let's do this. Now, we're going to just go in order based on the book on how they have it displayed. So we're going to start off with spikes. Turn your vehicle into a hazard and charge into opponents. So you have like this defensive aura around you with like 3 little spikes. The catch is it's only for a power type. So I'm going to say mid tier because it's actually pretty decent. Rocket, pretty straightforward. You can shoot it forward and backwards and also could ricochet off walls. So getting those trick shots are really nice. Plus rockets are very common in the game, especially for online races. You want to have as many options to kind of hit your opponents with. For me, it's high tier. Up next is boost. I know sometimes for boost you get 3 of them. It's basically just a speed boost. For online racing in general, I don't know if this is beneficial or not. For me, it doesn't benefit at all. You want to at least have as many options to attack your opponents or defend. And this doesn't really provide either one, so I'm going to say low tier. Up next is Quake. Send stone pillars to the front of the pack and block opponents. Basically, anyone who's ahead of you and you're like near the end, you basically put pillars. You always see this at least once on online racing. You always see this once at a time, but it's not as frequent, but it does the job well, so I'm going to place it mid tier. Up next is burst. Basically, it leaves a trail of fire behind you. I think if you're in first place, this is automatically top tier because this is really strong, but if you're like in the middle of the pack, this sort of works to your advantage. It's not too bad. I might be overestimating this one, but I actually think this one is actually really good. It's actually one of my favorites, honestly. So I'm actually going to be placing this one. Yeah, I'm going to overestimate this one. I'll put a high tier. Up next is bomb. It's just a super bomb. In general, you throw it, you just leave it back or you throw it forward. It also bounces off walls, so you can ricochet it too. And the blast radius is pretty damn nice, so it actually helps out, especially in groups. I'm going to say also high tier. Up next is Ghost. Top tier. Okay, let me explain why this is top tier. The fact that you can avoid all attacks and obstacles, and you can steal wisps from your opponents, is crucial. Especially for online racing, when you want to try to maintain first place, this is really strong. I really think this is actually one of the best ones, in my honest opinion, because I'm not gonna lie, half of my races that I've won, I've used Ghost, so I can kind of attest to this. But yeah. Next is lightning. You basically stun all your opponents with lightning itself. This one's actually more common than Quake because it has the same type of thing. You only get this when you're near last, but this is more common. So I would say for lightning, it's a lot better than Quake, though, in my honest opinion. I wouldn't say mid tier, but it's not top tier. I would say high tier at least. Up next is Eagle. The Crimson Eagle chases down opponents before attacking. I don't know how this one works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, or sometimes occasionally it misses. I don't get why, but that happens. Usually you get it around like in either dead last, near the end, or in the middle, but this doesn't work as often or as intended, so I'm going to say at least mid-tier. Up next is Drill, an automated boost and becoming invincible. This is basically like the bullet from Mario Kart 8, except it's a drill, and it gives you the invincibility, which sounds really cool. The problem is, it's not as common, even when you're in last place, because you'll usually get Lightning more, or Quake at times. You'll never really get Drill, you'll never really see it. For that reason, and despite all the power-ups it gives, I gotta put it low tier. Up next is Laser. You can zap your opponent and spin them around. Spin them out. Basically, it's just a laser pointer that you just point at a distance. It has pretty good range. It helps you out in online races. And actually, for certain tracks, it's actually pretty damn strong. But it's got that niche type thing, so I'm going to say mid-tier. Wait. Hold on. Fuck. You know what? For Drill, I'm going to put mid-tier. I think the power-ups are actually good. Even though it's not as common, it's still good, though. Yeah, it's not fair. There we go. That seems a little better now. Okay, next we have Void. It absorbs rings, item boxes, and slows down opponents. Again, this is another one of those top tier ones. The only catch with this one is Ghost is universal, but the Void, it's only for power types. So that's the only real difference. But it's still strong though, so definitely use it. We only got 2 left. Next is Q, block opponents and inbound projectiles. Basically one of your more common things that you're going to get. It's a little box. It's actually pretty damn good. It blocks missiles, which is nice. It can block other attacks. You can actually lob shot this to get those enemies hit. And it actually helps in defense. I'm going to say high tier. And last but not least, the Rhythm Wisp. Blind your opponents temporarily. I think this is decent. It's okay. I don't think it's that strong though. But it helps out in those niche situations. So I'm going to say mid tier. So there you go. There's my tier list for this whole game. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this. We can have a discussion if you guys like. But until then, thanks for watching, guys.